On the home stretch, the midterms, President Biden is seeing a bit of an uptick in his approval rating. A Gallup poll released just this past week shows his approval among Americans is at 44%.
Now that's up from his record low of 38% last month. It's also the highest he's polled in a year. Newsy White House correspondent Willie James Inman has more on the president's standing right now with the public and within his own party.
Following a series of legislative wins in recent weeks, President Biden will soon hit the road to tout what the White House and Democrats see as major accomplishments in the first half of his term.
And I'm about to sign the Inflation Reduction Act into law, one of the most significant laws in our history. Let me say from the start, with this law, the American people won and the special interests lost.
But the big question is, will it be enough to push back political headwinds and the president's low approval ratings to propel Democrats to success this fall?
We know historically the party that's in power, as represented by which party is in control of the White House, tends to lose seats in a midterm election. So Democrats are bracing to lose seats in the House and in the Senate.
While the president has seen his popularity increase slightly in recent weeks, his standing among voters is still at historic lows, and it could drag Democrats down with him this November. But some in the president's party now see a rare silver lining after Biden signed major legislation on things like infrastructure, gun reform, and more recently, the Inflation Reduction Act, which Democrats say will reduce greenhouse gas emissions and lower healthcare costs for Americans.
We've done a lot. Have we done everything? But we've done enough, more so than any other president in modern day history when you look at what Joe Biden has accomplished legislative-wise and policy-wise. That's number one.
Democrats are in part focusing their message on abortion rights and legislative wins, while Republicans work to seize an opportunity to attack the president's record amid historically high inflation with messaging like this.
Prices are up. The economy is weak. Maine families are drowning. But instead of helping, Jared Golden cast one of the deciding votes for Biden's new massive spending bill.
Republicans say voters are just ready for a change.
We're working incredibly hard. Republicans, the RNC, our sister committees, we are not taking a single thing for granted. We know that Americans are struggling under Biden's failed administration.
Both Republican and Democratic national committees boast an army of volunteers and operatives aimed at motivating key groups of voters in states that could decide which party controls Congress.
There are very few persuadable people in the electorate right now. Most people probably have a good idea of whether or not they're voting for Democrats versus Republicans in the election. The bigger issue for Democrats is to make sure that they mobilize as much as possible. And this is true for Republicans as well.